In this video, I am going to explain very important point, that is about the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, they are also called as hydrates of carbon. And carbohydrates, they are most diverse biomolecules for the food, for safety, for defense, for construction, all these aspects. So examples of carbohydrates like sucrose, glucose, starch, cellulose, glycogen, all are biomolecules. All are biomolecules of different types. Now I am coming to the classification. So carbohydrates have been classified into three categories. First is monosaccharides. Second is oligosaccharides. And third is polysaccharides. Monosaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. So actually, mono means single. Mono means single, and the word saccharide stands for sugar. So we'll see about the monosaccharides. Then monosaccharides, they are made up of only one unit. Oligo, they have 2 to 10 units, and polysaccharides, they have more than 10 monosaccharide units. So this is the brief introduction about this carbohydrates, and we'll see about the monosaccharides. In some cases, they can have like this, when aldehyde and OH forms polyhydroxy. So similarly, the ketonic plus hydroxy. So large number of OH is present, so it is called as polyhydroxy ketones. So that's why we say sugars are polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxy ketones. Now moving further, if only aldehyde group is present, then the sugar may be called as aldose. Nickname is aldose. Only aldehydic and hydroxy group. We may say polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxy ketone if it has, but the nickname is aldose. Similarly, if only ketonic group is present, then the sugar may be called as ketose. So this is the nickname, aldose or ketose. Now this is aldose and ketose, but children, actually there is some guideline in the monosaccharide. So this is very important point. Saccharides have 3 to 7 carbon atoms. This is very important point. Carbon atoms in a molecule. This is point number 1. So if any molecule has 3 carbon, and if it is aldose, if 3 carbon in aldose, so it will be called as aldo triose, aldo triose. 3 in ketose, so it will be called keto triose. So if 4, then aldopetrose, 5, then aldopentose or aldoketose, 6, like glucose 6, then it is called as aldohexose, 7 if present, then it is called as aldoheptose or ketoheptose, and so on. So this is there. Now moving forward, there are many examples, and so I have written 2, glucose and fructose. They are the basic sugar. When there can be different, so glucose it has formula C6H12O6, and we'll see the preparation. So glucose is obtained by the hydrolysis of sucrose. This is sucrose or cane sugar, or cane sugar means the sugar which is obtained from the canes, sugar cane. So this on hydrolysis in presence of acid dilute amount, even if it is hydrolyzed. So there is summation of C6H12O6 plus C6H12O6. This is 1 mole of glucose, and this is fructose. So when we hydrolyze sucrose, so this is sucrose is disaccharide. Sucrose is disaccharide, and glucose and fructose, they are monosaccharides. They have the same molecular formula, but they have different structures. Now coming to next method of preparation. So this is starch. Starch, it was polysaccharide, and polysaccharides they are water insoluble, and when it is subjected to hydrolysis is there, and it is temperature of around 400 Kelvin, and in acidic medium, and some pressure, 2 to 3 atmospheric pressure is required, and so there is n moles of this glucose. So this glucose is obtained, n moles of monosaccharide obtained. So these are the 2 methods how we prepare the monosaccharides, one from disaccharide by hydrolysis and another from this. So this is the commercial method, and like maize and sweet potato, they are the sources to prepare the glucose. Glucose is prepared on commercial scale by this method. Now coming to structure of the glucose, so this is the open chain structure. Open chain structure of glucose. And say children, here it has 1 aldehyde group, and it has 4 plus 1 5 hydroxy group. So basically it is also called as aldo. 6 are there, 6. So it is called as aldohexose. It is having also aldohexose, and now this glucose, it is major. It is major carbohydrate. Major means most important carbohydrates, which forms the complex carbohydrates. complex carbohydrates, like disaccharides. Here I write, sucrose. So sucrose, it is disaccharide. It is disaccharide. And starch, cellulose, they are polysaccharides. So this is the explanation about the importance how monosaccharides they form disaccharide and form polysaccharide. So similarly in the same pattern, disaccharides on hydrolysis give us to 2 units of monosaccharides, and polysaccharides large number of monosaccharide units. And so we'll see next about the properties of the glucose. Glucose you might have seen, or rather all have seen. Glucose is a quite solid, sweet to taste. It is water soluble, and so different properties. Next we'll see the chemical properties.